Morning, everyone. Just have a couple updates, I guess. And the first one I'll do is for, let's see, I believe it was Friday, June 5th. I was having a hard time sleeping the night before on the 4th because my daughter had a field trip. I'm going to Bar Harbor to watch and fish for lobsters and also go seal watching. And I was very nervous because I started having a lot of mood swings and just so tired from the fatigue from fibro, and you add the pregnancy to that, and I started getting a lot of fatigue, and I just was like, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to manage? How am I going to not snap at somebody, especially a little kid, and my moods were all over the place, from sometimes being anxious to being fine, to being depressed, to being fine, to being snappy or irritable, to being happy, to crying, and I'm just like, man, this is crazy. And it got so overwhelming, and to think of going on a field trip was just, I wanted to back out, but I'm like, no, I've paid the money, I've committed, my daughter thinks I'm going, I can't do this to her, I can get through this. So just try to positive self-talk, so I saw the whole way through it. And plus, the nausea, I'm just like, I hope I'm near the bathroom on the boat or near the railing, so if I have morning sickness or, just the boat ride tends to hit me like that, generally, I don't get motion sickness, but being pregnant, I wasn't sure, and already having the nausea, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but, so that kind of made me a little nervous too, but we went, and the boat did okay, and, I took a lot of pictures and some videos, and we really had a good time, but I just knew that I was gonna pay for it the next day due to fibro, but, I mean, we enjoyed the day. We went on the Miss Samantha and got to see how they caught lobsters. We saw different baby lobsters and some bigger ones and sea cucumbers and crabs, and we got to see eagles and got to watch them feed the seagulls outside the boat. So funny, when they lift up one of the lobster traps, all these seagulls just bombard the boat. It was incredible. And then we got to see all the different seals. It was really cute. And see a lot of the pups with their moms, and sometimes they kind of swim towards the boat just to greet us. It was really cute. But I did on the boat notice that, I still would go through some of my mood swings, and I would be like, and sometimes the boat would really be rocking, and I'm sitting there trying to use my muscles and my legs and everything to steady myself, and I'm like, oh, tense muscles, okay, I'm going to pay for that one. And then not only that, after the field trip, my husband and my daughter and I walked around Bar Harbor a little bit to some of the different shops, and at one point my husband asked me, he said, do you want to go home? And I go, why? He goes, because you're kind of irritable. So I was like, And then because, when you're excited about going into shops and think, places you hadn't been before, and you don't really fully pay attention to how you're feeling, because you're just kind of overtaken by what you're seeing. And at that moment, I was like, I stopped and thought, okay, how am I feeling right now? Besides being tired of pregnancy and relieved that the field trip part was over, even though I did have fun, but I realized how much my feet hurt, my knees, my hips, my back was starting to ache. I'm like, I'm realizing how tired I am, how much I've had it. And so we left, and went to drive home, and I really probably shouldn't have, because I got drowsy at the wheel and stuff, so it's just since pregnancy, it's been a lot worse, so I've had to let my husband take over more. And but yeah, the next day I woke up that morning. Hard to get out of bed. I was so stiff and I hurt so bad. My head hurt. I knew I was going to pay for it, but would I take it back? Would I not have gone knowing? for certain that I would be hurting and everything the next day. No, I probably still would have done it. I mean, it's one of those that even though you know you're going to hurt or be stiff or more tired, or, you know, sometimes you feel more emotional because you're tired and hurting and all that, but I wouldn't have taken it back. I still would have gone through with it because it's about, you know, those good memories. It's about, you know, not letting fibro take over your life. It's doing things, you know, in spite of that you might feel some pain or an increase. But really, it's about finding that balance and knowing that, okay, from this activity, I might hurt a little bit more. So, okay, yeah, I can deal with that. Compared to doing something you know you're going to hurt a lot more from. And I'm kind of learning that. It's trial and error, unfortunately. It's different with everyone. We all have our limits, but definitely between the fibro and the pregnancy, it's been a little bit of a rough ride, but yeah, I wouldn't have taken it back going on that field trip. I know it made some good memories for my daughter, and I've got some pictures and videos to show for it, and I did enjoy it. So, and I'm hoping, you know, I mean, even later this year, I'm hoping we can go on take my daughter on a whale watch. The last time we went, I was pregnant for her, so that was about 7 years ago, going on 7 years ago. So, I don't know, just be neat to show her the whales and the dolphins and all that would be cool. But we'll see. There are other family things I wanted to do, but I'm probably going to have to keep things a little low-key. But, so, I mean, that's kind of the update I have for what happened, you know, Friday. And, as I really noticed how fibro and pregnancy collided. And there are times, you know, I was thinking, you know, what am I doing? I got pregnant and oh man, this is just so much worse. You know, but I'm like, you know what? And I'll sit there and I'll think about how are things going to work when the baby's here. I'm not going to be getting a lot of sleep. I don't deal well when I don't get a lot of sleep. I am a crybaby, I admit. It's just because things are so much harder to deal with. I get overwhelmed so easy. Harder to think. My memory just does not work very well. And I'm just like, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'll just have to rest when I can, whenever I can, you know. And I know I'll have help to start. But now the clincher here is that there's a risk of twins, both on my husband's side and my side. Right now it's too early to tell, so I guess we'll find out. But I just have to wait and see how that'll work out. I mean, it'd be, I think, hard enough to handle one, but you know, we'll see what God has in store and what happens and all. But we'll get through it. I know we will, and of course I'll keep you guys all posted. And but I think that'll end the update for right now, and I will check back in with you soon. Bye.